Hello again, peeps. So in this video, we are going to continue a little bit more about, to learn more about Git. I'll put the link in the description below for my previous video, where you learn to set up Android Studio to work with Git. And one thing that I want to show in this video, so if we go to GitHub, and we open our project, so our CoinMarketCap app, you see here that there is no picture on my name, and this is something that I noticed yesterday, and my picture is supposed to be here. And why is this? And actually, this is something that I missed from the setup configuration from the previous video. So if we open this commit, for example, you can open a commit by clicking on the commit message. You see here that it was committed by this user, but there is no information about this user. You see here everything that was added. So who is this user? I cannot click, I don't know anything, and I should be able to click this user. And this is something that I missed from the configuration of my Git setup on my previous video that I will show you now how to fix it. So now that we are inside Android Studio again, there is something that we need to fix, and this will actually allow me to teach you something else that is interesting. So if you go here to version control, you see here log, and if you click log, you see that there is an initial commit, and you can see the changes here on the side. So you see here on the commit message that my email address is not correct. It says equal and then this, and I want to fix this. So how can we fix this? So I actually couldn't find a way to do this inside Android Studio, so this will force me to teach you how to use the command line to fix this problem. So if we go here to the bottom where it says terminal, we click this, and we can type git space config space user.name, and we see that my name is correct. So you should see also your name. If you don't see your name, probably in your case it will be empty, and you have to specify a name, and you would do this with git config user.name, and then you would specify your name like this. And if you type the command again, actually I will change it just for you to see, and then the name gets changed. But I want to define this for all my Git projects. So I will do config -- global, and now my name is configured. So now we want to define the email address. So it's the same, git config user.email. You see that it's incorrect, and I will change this global to my correct email address. So user.email. And I will also set it up on this project because it's probably still the old one, exactly. So I will just configure this to this project. And it's done. So now what we want to do, we can actually exit this. We don't care about this anymore. And now I will teach you something else about Git, which in this case, it doesn't matter because the project is new, so we can change this commit that we have here, because if you go here to GitHub, this commit is already published. So if someone is actually working on this, what we are going to do now would break the code from this other person. So what we are going to do is what's called amend a commit. Because if you go to the Git log, we know that this is wrong. So what we want to do is amend this commit, fixing our email message. So since you have now been exposed to the command line, we can fix this on the command line. So you open the command line again and you do git commit, but now the interesting part is we do like -- amend, and now we specify a new author. So -- author, and now we just do it like this. My name, and then my email address. And if we press enter, now we get the possibility of changing the commit message. We don't want to. And now you can just press colon, WQ, so this is the VI editor. It just saves. And if you go back to version control, you should see that the commit here, initial commit, has the email fixed. And now you get an interesting Git log, because you see that there are two initial commits. One initial commit that is on the origin master, which means on the remote branch on GitHub. And here we have our local one. And what we want is to replace the one that is on GitHub with this one. I already taught you how to push everything to GitHub with the git push. So let's see what happens if we try to push our changes. VCS git push. Now we just want to push. And we are supposed to get an error. So push of current branch master was rejected. Remote changes need to be merged before pushing. So in this case, we get a message saying if we want to merge or rebase. But actually, I don't want any of these. I actually want to override what's there. So I will just press cancel. And I will do this from the command line. Maybe there is a way to do this from Android Studio, but I will just do it from the command line because that's what I'm used to. And you already know a few commands that you can use. So I would just use git push, and you will see what will happen. More or less exactly like that same dialog. So now we have to log in, and now we see that our git push was rejected. It says updates were rejected because the tip of your current branch is behind its remote counterpart. I will explain this later in another video, but I will just explain you that what we need is to force push. We want to override what's on the remote side. Now we have to log in again, and this is something that I will explain in another video, how to get rid of all these logins, because it introduces the concept of public key and private key that you might be already familiar from the cryptocurrencies, and it's more or less the same here. So now it's pushed, and if we go back to GitHub and we refresh the page, now you see that the picture is actually my picture, and I can actually click this user, and you see that this user is my user. And that's it. This is how you configure the name and the email for the author of the Git commits, and also how you can change a previous commit and how you can force push changes if you ever need to override something. I hope you liked this video. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified of all the updates. Don't forget also to press that like button to show to YouTube that you have interest on this video. So thanks very much for watching, and see you on the next video.